So with just opening the Lady D-Bug and the Spinny or the Gazelle, we ended on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards on the field and 4 cards in our hand. One of those cards being our Salamangreat Gazelle, which means we can just do this whole combo again. What's up, guys? Abdullah here from Ather Gaming, and I know we did a Salamangreat deck profile, and we've mentioned all these combos in the profile, so I wanted to bring that video for you guys here. You guys have been requesting it for quite a while now, and I'm getting like a lot of comments for it. I think the deck is very powerful, and the combos itself, like the combos are very basic, and they're very easy to learn. And once you learn them, like it's legit like clockwork. Like you can't mess it up. And so you can spend more time like analyzing the game state, thinking about when to hand trap your opponent, and really like how to interrupt your opponent to where you can win the game. So we're going to show you a few combos, some of the very basic ones. The first combo we'll show you is the most basic combo in the deck. This is how we go +4 on turn 1. For this combo, you'll need Lady D-Bug or either Spinny or Gazelle. You just search whichever one you don't have. This combo will take 2 cards and let you go +4. Now, one of the biggest things with this deck, and why I think this deck is actually legitimate, is because that we have this theory that like decks should have either 1 or 2 card combos that generate like a lot of advantage. Like Dark Warriors were like that. Even like Sky Striker in a way like Engage like generates too much advantage. But like if a deck has a 2 card combo that goes +4, it's probably a pretty good deck. So we'll get right into it, guys. The way the combo goes, you have your Spinny, you have your Lady D-Bug, and you got 3 cards in hand. So it's super basic. What we're gonna do is we're gonna normal summon our Lady D-Bug in any zone that does not point directly under the extra monster zone. This is just in case it gets interrupted and we don't have a way to get to the Lady D-Bug, like we don't have a way to get it off the field. It won't block our link zones to be able to trigger. So Lady D-Bug's effect will trigger, and we'll search out the Salamangreat Gazelle, whatever piece we were missing before. Next, what we're gonna do is link away Lady D-Bug for our Salamangreat Balinx. Balinx will trigger on summon and search the Salamangreat Sanctuary. Now, because the Salamangreat card didn't go to the graveyard, we can't trigger our Gazelle, which is why we need Spinny. We'll discard the Spinny, targeting our Balinx, which will trigger our Gazelle. Gazelle will special itself, and on the field, Gazelle will activate its effect to send a card from our deck to the graveyard, the Salamangreat card. Now, you can choose either Roar or Rage. For the purpose of this combo, I'm gonna send the Roar, just because it's nice sending Infinity Barrier.
That's probably better to send it first blind.
It's probably just, yeah, blind, this is 100% better, just because you know you'll get value out of it. If you know you can get value out of the Rage, like more so than the Roar, like the Rage is probably a little bit better to send, just because like, you know, Fire Lake or Geki Break is pretty good. But for this combo, we'll send the Roar, just because we're assuming we're going blind. Next, because we control a Salamangreat that isn't Spinny, we'll special out Spinny. He gets banished when he leaves the field, but that's completely irrelevant to this combo. We'll overlay our Gazelle and our Spinny into our Mirage Stalio, the Invoker for our deck. We'll activate Mirage Stalio's effect, detaching the Gazelle. This is super important because the way this deck wins is not by making this unbreakable turn 1 board. The way it wins is by like out-advantaging your opponent. So we'll use Stalio
always
effect.
detach Gazelle, right?
Always attach Gazelle, unless you already have one in grave. But always attach Gazelle because you want to be able to, like, you know, normal the Gazelle, special the Gazelle, do it all over again next turn, and just break your opponent's back. With Mirage Stalio, we'll summon out our Salamangreat Jack Jaguar. Jack Jaguar is super important because when he's in the graveyard, you can shuffle back a Salamangreat card in your monster in your graveyard and special him to a pointer. So this synergizes with our Sunlight Wolf to be able to recur our advantage. We'll summon the Gazelle anyway. Like, you can summon it here, you can summon it here, here, here. I like doing it over here just to, like, you know, mentally. It's muscle memory, guys, so you don't mess up the combo. We'll link these 2 away, the Balinx and the Jack Jaguar, into our first Sunlight Wolf.
It has to be in that zone.
It has to be in this zone. It can't be where the Mirage Stalio is. We're really zone jumping just so we can special something here to trigger Sunlight Wolf's first effect to add a fire monster from our graveyard to our hand. Now what we're going to need to do is activate Salamangreat Sanctuary, use the ability of Sanctuary to reincarnate link Sunlight Wolf into the second copy of Sunlight Wolf. From here, we'll activate the effect of Salamangreat Jack Jaguar, shuffling back the Sunlight Wolf we relink summoned to summon Jaguar. I always summon my Jaguar attack position just because it means my opponent can't attack over it with theirs, so they pierce me for 600 randomly. This will trigger Sunlight Wolf, which will add Gazelle back to our hand. Next, because Sunlight Wolf is reincarnate, it's link summoned, we can use this ability to add Roar back. Now, if you had Roar, and let's say you had Rage in the graveyard already, you could use Roar's own ability to set itself because you reincarnation link summoned, but here we're just going to set it back manually. Now we'll set the roar and we'll take a look at our board state and what we're setting on. So with just opening the Lady Debug and the Spinny or the Gazelle, we ended on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards on the field and 4 cards in our hand. One of those cards being our Salamangreat Gazelle, which means we can just do this whole combo again completely, and the other 3 being blanks. Those could be anything. So we have a negate. We have a hard negate that we can search for. Sorry? Yeah. +4. +4 with just 2 cards. This is what's the most insane thing about it is like these cards are basically free for us, and we have 2 threats on the board that they have to answer. Because it's a reincarnation link summon, it's like imagine if you left Kagari on the board and Kagari could manually add a card back. Like that card would be insane. You'd have to deal with the Kagari. Same deal here. You have to deal with the Sunlight Wolf. If you don't deal with Mirage Stalio, I'm literally going to invoke or something, link it away, and bounce something. Like this card these have already generated pluses for us, and they're just going to generate even more. So they have to deal with these cards. We have a Baling's Protection Engraved, so you can count that as a card if you wanted to, and we'll go +5 just with those 2 cards. Like the rest of the hand is irrelevant, guys, but like if you open stuff like, you know, Ogre, Veiler, or Caught by the Grave, like you have even more interruptions.
So it's like 15 negates almost.
15 negates, uninterrupted. Decks really can't play through it. Like you have to deal with this garbage. And it doesn't work. Like no matter what deck you're playing, like if they don't have Denko Sekka, you're gonna win the game. And if they have Denko Sekka and you hard draw Veiler, you still win the game. Alright, so the next combo we're gonna show you is just if you open Lady Debug. And I know a lot of people are cutting Lady Debug, which I think is incorrect, just because the card by itself generates a +4. It's not like the most it's not the smoothest combo, but it's better than having no turn, right? So that's why we play this, because when this card resolves, and it's not too difficult for it to resolve, you go so far in the plus section that like it just justifies playing the card on its own, especially if you open up like Lady Debug and like 4 hand traps, or Lady Debug and like 2 back row and like, you know, 2 hand traps. You can still go +4 and generate all the advantage and do exactly what we just did, except you won't end on the hard negate. So we'll just do Lady Debug. We have 4 cards. We'll normal summon a Lady Debug, and we'll search out Salamangreat Gazelle. A lot of the combos start with searching Gazelle. Next, we're gonna link away our Lady Debug for the first copy of Salamangreat Balinx. We'll use the Balinx effect, adding Salamangreat Sanctuary from our deck to our hand. Now, because the monster didn't go to the graveyard, like a Salamangreat monster wasn't sent to the graveyard, we can't trigger Gazelle yet. So how we get around it is by relink summoning Balinx, which means we have to activate the Salamangreat Sanctuary. Now, this kind of sucks because it means that with Gazelle we can't send it a gate, but that's okay. We're still gonna go plus. We'll link this away for the second copy of Balinx. Now, because Salamangreat monster was sent to the graveyard, we'll be able to trigger our Gazelle effect. We'll special our Gazelle. Again, we don't want to lock out these zones, so I just like summoning it, you know, off to the right, or even in the middle is okay, just to work on like Muscle Memory. All this stuff matters, guys, in that 1% of instance. We'll use Gazelle's effect, send the Spinny to the grave, and now we'll be able to extend and combo the way we did before. Because we control a Salamangreat monster, we'll special Spinny. We'll overlay Spinny and Gazelle into the Mirage Stalio underneath the Balinx. Use the effect of Mirage Stalio, again detaching the Gazelle, specialing Jack Jaguar from our deck. Again, I like putting it under this extra monster zone, you don't need to. We'll link our Balinx and our Salamangreat Jack Jaguar into our Sunlight Wolf. Now, because like we don't have the the reincarnate summon, because we don't have the trap in the graveyard, and like we've already used the ability, we don't actually need to use the reincarnate summon, which is like fine, because the way this combo really ends on is that you're gonna have a Balinx back, so you're never wasting resources. So if you have more extended, you can always like reincarnate Link and do other stuff, but like this is just the basic things you can do with just one Lady Debug. We'll use the ability of Jack Jaguar, shuffling back our Balinx, the extra one, to special out the Jack Jaguar. This will trigger Sunlight Wolf, and we'll add back Gazelle from our graveyard to your hand. Again, we'll take a look at the board state that we have here. We got 4 cards on board: the Sunlight Wolf, the Jack Jaguar, Mirage Stalio, the Sanctuary. We still have a Balinx engraved for protection on our board state, and we got 4 cards in hand that are blanks and Salamangreat Gazelle. We opened Lady Debug, we didn't go minus, we just went +4, which is what this deck does. Now, these cards could be, again, anything. We got like Ash, Impermanence, like, you know, like we got so much gas in here that like our opponent just won't be able to play through, and then we just do the combo all over again next turn. And because we already got to this point, we can just get the free relink summon away. Like the deck, this is what the deck does: is it out resources you and it breaks your back through that. And this was a combo I showed you with just one Lady Debug. Like the rest of your cards are irrelevant. You top deck Lady Debug in a late game situation, and you just go off. So that's why I think this card is mandatory. We'll have a test hand out just to show you guys how I would play a handout, and then we'll see where we go from. All right, guys. Now we're just gonna shuffle on camera, just show you guys how I would play a test hand out. Like it's very easy to have a combo with just like 2 cards where you know exactly what those cards are gonna be. So we're gonna pile shuffle on camera. I'll get somebody to cut it, just so you know that like this deck is legit. Like we're not doing 60 different cuts just to show like one relevant combo that happens in like 1% of instances. So
crazy. I've cut that. I deal with bricks all day.
That's fine. You can't break in this deck. You can always play. And if you can't play, your opponent can't play. Like, if you open a hand that's unplayable, it means that your hand is so good that your opponent can't play the game. Or so bad that your opponent can't play the game. So either way, your opponent's not playing. You open good, they're not playing. You open bad, they're not playing. And because you play cards like Thanos, like, you can always draw out of it, right? So, alright. I'll have a final cut. And we'll just draw our opening 5. Gazelle, the rest of the hand is irrelevant. Ash Blossom, great, that's a negate. Spinny, we win the game. Fusion of Fire, ooh, if we go second, we win. And then DD Crow. Like, we got 2 negates on the board. We have Gazelle. We have our Spinny. Like, we're in such a good spot here. So what I would do is...
So you already have 16 negates.
I got 16 negates. And I got to come back play if I'm playing against the mirror match. We're great. This is good against Sky Striker, too. So we'll normal summon our Spinny. We'll link it away. Into the Balinks. This combo's easy mode. Into the Balinks. We'll go Chain Link 1 Balinks. Chain Link 2 Gazelle. To special summon itself. Balinks will search out the Sanctuary. Gazelle will special, and a Gazelle will mill. Because we already got Spinny engraved, we don't need to send that. We'll just send our Hard Negate. Send our Roar. We control a Salamangreat monster. We'll special out the Spinny. Overlay these 2 into the Mirage Stalio. Use the effect of Stalio. I showed you guys this combo. Use the effect of Stalio, detaching our Gazelle. Make sure you detach your Gazelle. Special out Jack Jaguar. In defense position over here. We'll link away the Jack Jaguar and the Balinks into the first copy of Sunlight Wolf in the other extra monster zone, so we can open up the zone underneath it. We'll activate the effect of Salamangreat Sanctuary that we searched with Balinks, link away the Sunlight Wolf with the effect of Sanctuary. Now we'll activate the effect of our Jack Jaguar, shuffling back the Sunlight Wolf to special out Jack Jaguar. This will trigger the Wolf, add back Gazelle, Baggy will trigger, add back Roar, set the Roar, look at our board. This might not seem like a lot, but you play through and you realize, damn, that deck's stupid. That's what it is. We got Ash, we got DD Crow, we got Fusion of Fire. These cards will like literally do nothing on our turn. Like, we could not play with these cards on our turn going first, and we still ended on this. We got Balinks. I've already shown you guys this board. Like, that's what this deck does. To anybody who thinks that the deck is inconsistent, I just think they're wrong. And I think that when you see hands like this, like, you really understand the appeal behind this deck. Is that, like, so you get to trade, let's say, 4 cards with your opponent, right? And that's like just say being ignorant. You trade 4 cards with your opponent, or 3 cards with your opponent. There are 3 cards left. Like, they can out one of these, usually not 2. And like, your hand is like this, right? Like, this is your board, or you got like a Sunlight Wolf, and then next turn you'll draw. The draw is irrelevant. Like, this will help us push our plays through. And just with Gazelle and Stalio, or just with Gazelle and Sunlight Wolf, even if they get rid of this, just with Gazelle, you do it all over again. You reset the Roar. This time you'll be able to set the Rage as well. So your turn 2 is going to be like Roar set, Rage set. You have Sunlight Wolf. Like, what's your opponent going to do here? And in the mirror match, you just make a Abyss Dweller with these 2 cards set too. Like, you have a card by the grave. Like, we're still just recycling our negates. And after this point, you never really need any other card in your deck because it's all in your graveyard, which you access, or in your hand, which you recycle. So that's the combo video, guys. If you guys want to see more Salamangreat combos, let us know down below, guys. We got a lot of stuff coming out, guys. And we really do appreciate all the love and support that you guys have shown. Shout out to all our patrons, all our subscribers, all our viewers. Yeah, that's Abdullah signing out, guys. This deck is insane. Make sure you go pick it up. Have a great day, guys.